Ok, donc, premier rendez-vous de l'année 2026. Aujourd'hui, tu vas ajouter si besoin. On veut parler un petit peu de ta présence sur des réseaux, euh, des, la façon dans laquelle tu envoies des messages aux gens.
Ouais.
Euh, Comment conduire, j'ai pensé aussi comment conduire les one-to-one pour mettre moins de temps et énergie et avoir plus de conversion.
Ouais.
Et aussi, je n'ai, je pense que tu m'as dit tu as envoyé un enregistrement d'un pitch deck, mais je ne l'ai pas.
Ouais, parce que je t'avais envoyé le premier, mais qui était pas top. Et ensuite, je t'en avais renvoyé un. Faut que je te renvoie du
Tu,
coup.
tu peux me le renvoyer parce que sinon je vais avoir du mal à trouver.
Ouais, parce qu'il y avait c'est bien celui que tu veux, c'est celui où il y a les différents slides en fait que je présente, c'est ça?
Yes, please.
Yes. Ok, bah, je vais te faire ça
Ok, super. Je
ensuite.
comptais prendre une nouvelle feuille pour que je garde la trame. Et aussi, tu m'as posé des questions par rapport au complément nutritionnel.
Ouais,
Ok.
je t'expliquerai, je crois que je t'ai déjà expliqué un peu, mais c'est un peu bizarre en France, la façon de faire, du coup, ça donne pas envie, quoi, tu vois.
C'est-à-dire?
Quand tu fais une collab avec une marque, ici,
Oui,
enfin, en tout cas sur les marques que j'ai essayées, il y en a quand même pas mal. Ben, en fait, ils te donnent un code promo que tu donnes à tes clients. Et la première fois que les gens rentrent le code promo, toi, tu bénéficies d'une commission.
oui.
Mais ensuite, si les clients n'utilisent pas le code promo, bah, toi, ta recommandation, elle part un peu
Ah oui.
dans le néant. Tu vois, par exemple, moi, j'ai beaucoup de clientes que j'ai ramenées sur une marque de compléments alimentaires française qui est de très bonne qualité, qui s'appelle Novoma. Et en fait, quand les gens passent la commande la première fois, bah, ils vont mettre mon code et du coup, moi, je vais avoir une commission donc de quelques euros.
Oui.
Et ensuite, la fois suivante, bah, les gens ont l'habitude, ils vont directement sur le site.
Ok,
Et moi,
ok, ok.
j'ai rien du tout parce qu'en fait, il n'y a pas le système où une fois que c'est toi qui as rentré le client, c'est à vie. Tu vois?
D'accord, donc il n'y a pas de récurrence.
Donc, moi, je leur ramène un client, mais après, moi, j'ai rien gagné sur le système.
Oui, oui, effectivement, il faut que le système soit protégé pour qu'à chaque fois le client achète, de préférence en abonnement, tu
Exactement.
bénéficies d'une manière récurrente à long terme.
Voilà. Mm.
Ouais,
Donc c'est ça que je cherche aujourd'hui parce que j'ai
yeah.
fait pour beaucoup de marques, au final, c'est toujours la même chose, c'est que finalement, moi, je leur ramène des clients et derrière, moi, je récupère rien sur le long terme.
Yeah, that's no good because you've done all the work to do one,
C'est ça.
and then nothing. That sucks.
Ensuite, c'est bye bye.
Yeah.
OK, merci pour le
Yeah, that
client et
sucks.
maintenant, qui connaît la marque, eh ben, ils vont faire sans vous.
Okay. Ok. Bon, donc, comme c'est un sujet court, je vais juste couvrir ça pour, voilà, pour le compartimentaliser, si tu veux.
Ouais,
Euh, Justement, en fait, moi, j'ai commencé à recommander des technologies et des produits Nu Skin, tout simplement parce que en tant que styliste, mes clients ont commencé à me poser des questions, qu'est-ce qu'ils pouvaient utiliser pour leur peau, leur bien-être, etc., qui étaient très complémentaires à mon coaching de styliste. Voilà. Et à l'époque, une de mes plus grandes sources d'anxiété, c'était rentrer au Sephora, ne pas savoir quoi acheter. D'autant plus les vendeuses qui n'étaient pas qualifiées pour me conseiller. Parce qu'elles avaient tous voilà, 30 ans de moins que moi. Et là, je dis, mais qu'est-ce que t'en sais, toi? Et, et c'est là où, justement, une amie m'a parlé de cette marque
ouais,
dans le cadre d'une opportunité d'affaires.
d'accord.
Et donc, il y avait genre deux opportunités en un. Un, c'était vraiment avoir une valeur ajoutée à mes clients, mes clients de style.
Ouais,
et aussi avoir une source complémentaire de revenus. À l'époque, je ne savais même pas ce que savait la vente directe. J'étais vraiment, as we say in English, I was living under a rock for 48 years. I was like, this is great, right? I had no clue. Et en fait, my naivety was my strength.
Ah oui.
Parce que j'avais pas de croyance à préalable que ça marche pas, voilà, il y a pas d'abonnement, les gens ils vont me piquer les... Tu vois, j'avais pas de tout ça, j'ai dit, mais c'est génial! Et souvent, quand on est comme ça, un peu enfantin,
Ouais.
c'est là où les miracles arrivent. Parce que le problème, c'est que quoi qu'on arrive, nos croyances déterminent nos résultats. Donc, si on a une croyance, ça marche pas, les gens piquent les clients, etc., qu'est-ce qui se passe? Ça marche pas, les gens piquent les clients. Ça, tu le sais.
Ouais, ouais.
Tu le
Ouais.
sais. We
Mm.
live and receive what we believe to be true in our own set of beliefs. That goes with money, relationships, health. We manifest what we believe to be true.
Mm.
That's the bottom line, right? So je, I digress a little bit. So if we're not making enough money and if we are not meeting the right people, everything, it's because we believe somewhere in there this to be true. And then the answer is, isn't that interesting? Right?
Ouais.
So you become humble in the sense like, wow, I believe that about me. Okay, well, that sucks. What can I do about it? Okay. So I didn't have that belief. I was like, this is great. Donc, on m'a fait une démo sur le visage, moitié visage. J'ai dit, bah, cool, oui, ça a l'air bien. Et elle m'a dit, tu peux le vendre à tes clients, gagner un petit peu, voilà, de marge. Et en plus, tu ajoutes une valeur énorme comme tu as un package beaucoup plus complet, pas seulement sur les vêtements, les garde-robes, le shopping, etc. Mais tu apportes une vraie valeur ajoutée. I was like, this is great. Okay? Comme je suis venue d'un milieu où il y avait que la vente au détail, pour moi, j'ai vu que la vente au détail. Ça,
Ouais.
c'était une de mes croyances. À l'époque, il y a 15 ans, il n'y avait pas affiliate marketing. Ou presque pas. Ou encore une fois, je n'étais pas au courant.
Mhm.
So, donc, à ce moment-là, j'ai dit, OK, j'ai pensé comme une, voilà, comme une propriétaire d'une boutique. J'ai ce produit, voilà, ça coûte tant, je le vends pour tant, je gagne la marge. C'est comme ça marche les affaires, non? Ah ben,
Ouais.
pas du tout. C'était seulement quelques semaines après où j'ai rencontré dans un événement à Paris où j'étais là pour 3 jours. C'était un week-end le plus challenging, mais aussi le plus inspirant de ma vie, où j'ai vu un jeune homme de 24-25 ans, il s'appelle Shiva, super gars. Il était sur scène. Et il parlait de sa vie, de liberté, de voyage, de bien-être, d'avoir un impact positif. Je dis, bah, je ne sais pas ce que c'est ce truc. D'abord, il y a 850 Parisiens dans la salle et en plus, ils sont tous positifs. Là, il doit avoir fumé de la moquette ou il y a un truc là. Because I had been living in Paris for 22 years and I had never met
This
positive
kind of...
people. Everyone's negative.
Ouais, c'est pas étonnant.
Oui, c'est leur badge d'honneur.
C'est la France.
Ben voilà, c'est ça. Donc, il y a la mentalité collective. Donc, ça aussi, il faut juste le noter, une mentalité collective qui nous influence tous les jours. C'est pour ça on dit,
Mm.
notre revenu est le moyen mensuel des 5 personnes avec lesquelles on passe le plus de temps. C'est c'est une fête prouvée.
Mm.
OK? Donc, si on veut élever son revenu, il faut élever son entourage.
bien sûr.
L'influence des autres, c'est énorme. Pas seulement ce qu'on a aujourd'hui, mais aussi ce qui est venu du passé. C'est pour ça que je posais des questions sur... Voilà.
Ouais.
Alors, tes parents dans tout ça? Et merci, maman, papa.
Mm.
Ou
Beau
pas.
cadeau.
OK. Donc, à ce moment-là, je me suis dit, écoute, je ne comprends comment faire ce truc. Je sais que les produits sont super. Je peux gagner un petit peu plus d'argent par rapport à mon coaching du stylisme. En avant. Et
Mhm.
après, j'entends Shiva, je dis, lui, il vend des produits de beauté? Comment ça marche, ça? Mais c'est un gamin, littéralement un gamin, un mec.
En plus, ouais.
Et je dis, mais attends, mais Je dis, c'est pas grave. I am going to choose to believe. Parce que ce qu'on croit, c'est un choix. On peut choisir de croire autre chose. Ça s'appelle free will. I can choose to believe differently. I don't know how I am going to choose to believe differently, but for things to change, I have to change.
Mm.
I cannot think the same way and get a different result. Impossible. So if I'm not making enough money, I need to change what's going on up here because this is where everything starts. It's not what I do, it's not what I post, it's not what I say, it's how I think and how I feel. Is 98% of what you create is this. So I was like, okay, I am willing to change. Isn't that interesting? Je ne
Ah
savais même pas il y a 15 ans qu'il y avait un truc que les pensées créent une réalité, tout ça. J'ai été mais naïve, mais j'avais un peu lu des choses à l'époque, mais j'ai pas vraiment étudié comme j'ai étudié depuis, quoi.
ouais, ouais. C'était le
Et
début.
après, on a le tâche de changer nos pensées.
The best part.
Welcome to planet Earth. Shit. Okay? I was like, how hard can that be? Mais encore une fois, c'est bien que j'étais naïve parce que il s'avère que c'est assez difficile, n'est-ce pas?
Ah ouais. Un travail de chaque instant.
24 heures sur 24. That's why we're on this planet, is to understand how we can change our thoughts to get a different reality. That's why we live on this sur un rocher en train de tourner en rond au milieu de nulle part.
C'est ça.
Isn't that interesting? C'est fascinant, non?
Ah bah oui, complètement, ouais.
Alors, mais côté pratique, j'ai commencé tout simplement à faire après mois de mars en 2011, j'avais pris ma décision profonde, irréversible, que j'allais prendre ce business au sérieux. Est-ce que je comprenais toutes les parties techniques, compétences, etc. Non, non, c'est pas grave, mais c'est pas grave. I'm smart, I can learn. I know how to work. I have a burning desire.
Mm.
How hard can this be? OK?
Excellent.
Donc, ce que une fois que je suis rentrée en Angleterre en mars 2011, j'ai fait ce que je savais faire, ce que j'avais fait pour construire mes autres business. Je suis allée porte à porte. Donc, j'ai tapé à toutes les portes des salons, d'esthétique, les salles de sport, les trucs, les machins. Mais encore, j'étais très focus sur le côté beauté.
Oui.
Jusqu'au moment où j'ai découvert un appareil qui s'appelle le biophotonic scanner, ou le scanner biophotonique. And I was like, what in God's green earth is this? Et là, j'ai eu une vision quand j'ai découvert pour la première fois qu'on pouvait avoir un complément alimentaire qui était validé par un appareil scientifique prouvé pour démontrer que les compléments alimentaires fonctionnaient. Et s'ils ne fonctionnaient pas sur mes clients, on leur remboursait l'argent. And I was like, wow, that's
Ouais,
amazing.
surtout, si tu mets en place la garantie, les gens sont rassurés tout de suite, ils se disent.
Assuré.
Ouais,
Donc, soit je te rembourse, soit tu t'améliores. OK? Et là, j'ai eu une vision extrêmement puissante que j'allais placer 5000 scanners dans le monde entier, dans les cliniques, les centres chiropractiques, tu vois, I got to
wellness.
work with professionals. This is amazing. Et c'était dans mon zone de confort parce que je savais que c'était les gens qui étaient scientifiquement compétents, etc. Et j'avais la science et la technologie et la preuve. Et je savais que leur point de douleur était pas assez d'argent et si le client ne rentre pas, il gagne pas. Donc, ils sont prises par ça. OK? I was like, this can really help. Là, du coup, dès que j'ai vu, et j'ai oublié le côté argent. Pour moi, c'était un moyen d'être quelqu'un qui pouvait être une force positive pour améliorer la santé des gens dans le monde. I was like, I love that, right?
Yes.
This is what makes us happy is when we positively affect other people's lives.
Ouais, ouais,
Agreed? All right.
ouais.
Donc, j'étais une des premières personnes au UK de prendre mon propre scanner. Même si j'avais pas le background professionnel, I studied the science sometimes all night long. I wanted to understand what Raman spectroscopy was. I wanted to understand the inelasticity of the scattering of light. I wanted to understand how carotenoids were, because I know, et toi tu connais ça, quand tu connais un sujet en profondeur, tu peux l'expliquer d'une manière simple.
Ouais. Mm.
OK? Donc là, j'étais folle de joie que j'ai trouvé quelque chose, pas seulement parce que, bien sûr, le côté beauté, c'est très important aussi, surtout pour les femmes, l'estime de soi, c'est toujours ce qu'elles veulent plus, c'est l'estime de soi, n'est-ce pas? Ça, tu le sais.
Ouais.
Pour les hommes, c'est différent, c'est la virilité qui compte.
On en a parlé il y a quelques fois, ça. Hein.
Et la raison pour laquelle ils achètent des
Mm.
voitures, voilà, ils veulent être riches parce qu'ils veulent être plus attirants vers la personne vers laquelle ils veulent attirer. That's all. That's why men buy. Donc, les femmes, elles sont guidées par le cœur et les hommes, ils sont guidés par un peu plus bas.
Comme toujours.
Yes. It's basic human functioning. It's a bit sad, really, but anyway, there we are.
Mm.
Et après, j'ai commencé à faire des événements avec le scanner et j'invitais tous les gens, voilà, une fois par semaine que je t'ai déjà expliqué, come and see the scanner, come and see the scanner, come and see the scanner. Je suis allée dans les expos avec mon scanner, je suis allée dans les salles de sport, tu vois, souvent tu rentres dans une salle de sport, il y a un endroit où il y a un peu la partie commune, où voilà, je faisais des stands, etc. And that started to really grow. And then that was in the UK. And then people in my team in France, un gars qui s'appelle Jean-Michel Davot, encore une fois, un ingénieur avec pas, mais il a eu la vision, lui aussi. Et après, Cathy Smith, elle a eu la vision. Elle a commencé à travailler avec des médecins aux États-Unis parce que les médecins aux États-Unis, ils ont le droit de vendre des compléments alimentaires,
Ah ouais, d'accord.
contrairement en Europe.
Ah ouais, là, on n'a
Les,
rien.
les- les médecins généralistes n'ont pas le droit de commercialiser leur business. Mais aux États-Unis, bien sûr, c'est possible. OK.
On est toujours limité en France. Hein.
C'est européen, hein, c'est pas seulement en France, en Angleterre, c'est pareil. Et elle a commencé à placer des scanners. Mais aujourd'hui, ces scanners-là, il y en a que 5000 dans le monde entier. OK? Parce que c'est cher, on n'achète pas, mais il y a il y a des obligations de vente, etc., etc. C'était pas personnalisé, c'était, on plaçait des scanners. Donc, j'en ai pas mal. Par exemple, demain après-midi, on fait une présentation du prisme. Et une des personnes qui veut faire un témoignage, c'est Dr. Polly Hailmini. Elle a une clinique extrêmement réussie à Houston où elle a plein de clients qui rentrent pour she's like a holistic therapist, nutrition, all that kind of- so people come in, they trust her. She's a doctor, right? So she has a fantastic clinic and she has hundreds of clients who take the supplements, of which I make 5% of everything she sells.
Et c'est pas mal ça.
Okay? That's just one person. Okay. So, encore une fois, tu as parlé du fait que, voilà, on achète une fois, mais après, les gens, ils achètent direct et tu bénéficies pas.
Non, c'est ça.
Là, c'est différent parce que personne peut acheter directement du site. Ils sont obligés de passer par un distributeur officiel. Donc, tu es protégé à vie et à terme, ça devient pas un business, mais what we call an asset,
Oui,
which will pay you whether you work or not. So I have people in Australia, I have people in the Philippines, I have people in Canada. So the business is 24/7 globally. I was like, this is amazing. So I'm helping people raise their health. I am making a positive difference in the world, and I'm making residual income. Happy days.
Les trois en même temps.
Voilà. And my asset is secure. Okay? De temps en temps, tu as quelqu'un qui préfère aller sur la site acheter direct. En 24 heures, New Skin will allocate that person to a distributor. They never sell direct. Okay? D'autant plus en tant que distributeur, on a la possibilité de faire des promos, etc. Ça, tu ne peux pas faire si tu achètes direct. Et ça constitue 0,1% des personnes qui achètent.
Ah
So,
ouais.
it's nothing. Okay? And so now, with Prism coming this month, that big biophotonic scanner, which is amazing and incredible, is now everybody has their own,
Tout le monde, ouais, tout le monde peut l'avoir.
avec les mêmes garanties, une expérience personnalisée en 15 secondes, avec une opportunité, si l'on veut, d'avoir un réseau de consommateurs international. Donc, il y a des gens qui ont une petite vision qui juste travaillent autour d'eux. Il y en a des gens qui ont une vision, je veux rester dans les confines de mon pays. Il y en a
Ouais.
d'autres qui disent, I want people to be using this all over the world. Encore une fois, c'est les croyances qui
Ouais.
créent leur réalité.
Et ouais.
OK? Et bien sûr, le cerise sur le gâteau, c'est que on n'a pas besoin d'investir parce que j'avais acheté des entreprises, mais qui coûtaient des centaines de milliers, quoi. Et quand j'ai démarré, au début, j'ai dit, quoi, je démarre avec tout ça, ils me donnent ça pour 1 000 euros. Je sais, c'est quoi le problème ici? Parce qu'il y avait forcément pas, c'était même pas une obligation, c'était juste une recommandation. Et il y a des gens aujourd'hui qui commencent, même à l'époque, j'ai dit oui, oui, j'ai investi, c'était 1 300 euros, je me rappelle, il y avait un gros kit. Et je me rappelle quand le kit était arrivé, je dis waouh, je démarre un business pour 1 300 euros, c'est pas possible, parce que le dernier, j'ai payé 250 000. En plus, j'ai une opportunité d'avoir un truc à l'abonnement international et sans frais de fonctionnement. I just like, this is what's the problem here? Okay. And then you just have to learn some skills of how to explain the science, talk to the right people, etc. But that's okay, you can learn, right? We're
Ouais.
smart, right? Donc, du coup, vu ce que tu fais, que ça soit avec parce que Nu Skin, c'est la société, mais le côté, comment dire, complément nutritionnel, c'est le côté Pharmanex. C'est un peu un sous-division de la société en entière.
Oui.
Euh, Avec une histoire absolument incroyable, avec des validations. Rien que hier, quand j'étais en train de préparer la présentation avec Cathy pour demain, rien que sur la technologie Prism, ils ont fait plus de 100 études, more than 100 white papers validated by outside sources. $130 million to develop,
Ah ouais.
right? And we get that for free. Okay. So we can talk to high level people who will tear the company apart. They will get into all the science and they will never be able to unsubstantiate what we have,
Ah ouais.
right? Et d'autant plus qu'on a, bien sûr, toujours le remboursé, plusieurs compléments qui ont le remboursé ou satisfait ou remboursé. OK? Nice. Alors, maintenant, est-ce qu'on est le seul au monde de pouvoir faire ça? Yes. We are in a category of one. Nobody has this technology. Nobody has this guarantee. Using a technology qui nous permet d'avoir ce statistique d'une manière non invasive. Il y a deux ou trois sociétés qui offrent ça aussi, mais il faut faire une prise de son.
Ah ouais.
C'est pas top.
Les gens aujourd'hui sont flemmards, ils n'ont pas envie d'aller faire une prise de sang.
Ah ouais, exactement. Donc, il y a, comme je t'ai dit dans mon message, il y a d'autres marques et je ne suis pas là pour le vendre parce que moi, je suis dans une position aujourd'hui que les gens, ils doivent me demander à moi si je suis prête à aller. Parce que, bien entendu, derrière tout ça, ils ont mon coaching gratuit.
Ah bah ouais, sinon
So
ça sert.
they have to show me that they're serious. Because I don't spend time with people who aren't serious.
Oui, parce que tu vas faire du... Tu donnes de ton temps, c'est comme en coaching pour que quelqu'un fasse rien à côté.
Yes.
Waste of time.
So of course, in the beginning, I don't know if you can understand this in English, we say we have to work through the dud to find the stud.
Ouais.
So I've worked with a lot of duds, Anissa. Oui, oui, c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. 3 semaines plus tard, mais t'es où là? Mais parti où? Pouf! Okay? But
Ouais.
that's just the human condition. Isn't that interesting? Les,
Ouais.
les gens ne font pas ce qu'ils disent qu'ils vont faire.
Il faut trier au début. Et tu sais que j'ai eu une cliente ce matin qui m'a appelée et ça fait, c'est petite parenthèse, mais ça fait 4 fois qu'elle m'écrit et au lieu de me demander le contenu du coaching, elle me parle que d'argent. Je lui ai dit next. C'est même pas la peine parce qu'en fait, elle est même pas intéressée par ce que je vais lui apporter. Elle essaye de négocier le prix, le truc. Est-ce que peux avoir un discount, etc. Je lui dis, il n'y a pas de souci, mais le sujet, le coaching, c'est le plus important. On discute d'abord de ta santé, ensuite on voit les conditions. Et elle est déjà que sur ça fait des mois qu'elle m'écrit, puis elle recule, et puis elle avance, puis elle recule. Et du coup, je lui ai dit, prends le temps de réfléchir, on se revoit dans 6 mois.
Yes.
Parce que là, elle va pas, elle va rien faire en coaching, elle fera rien.
Le coaching, c'est un petit peu différent parce que les gens, ils te payent quoi qu'il arrive.
Ouais,
Euh, Comme je t'ai dit, souvent, tu es une des clients qui est le plus sérieuse, mais chacun est responsable pour suivre ou pas suivre ce que je conseille. But with the supplement business, it's very different because I only get paid when they sell.
ah ouais, sinon ça sert à rien.
So I have to make sure they are serious. And now because I'm in the top 1% and I have a big organization, I will not beg you to teach you how to be a millionaire. You're going to have to beg me if you want my time, which is my only non-expandable asset.
Mm.
Got it?
Ouais, tu as bien raison.
So my suggestion is one of two things. One, we are doing a presentation tomorrow afternoon for 25 minutes. It's at 1600 hours French time. If you're not free, it will be recorded and I can send you it so you can take a look.
Ouais.
All right. If you can join live, it would be great because I can then introduce you to the group.
Et à quelle heure? Fais voir, Brigitte.
16 heures.
13h. 13h, ouais, c'est bon. Prochain rendez-vous, il est à 14h. Par contre, faudra que je quitte la réunion à 14h.
Non, c'est 16 heures, ma chérie.
Ah, 16h, j'ai entendu 13h.
Non, 16. Excuse-moi.
16h, ouais, c'est bon.
Ok, super. Je t'envoie les détails. Et comme ça, tu prendras une décision informée. C'est tout.
Ça dure 1 heure ou pas?
Non, 30 minutes. Nous, on fait vite,
Ah.
hein. Ah ouais, non, non, non. Nous, c'est piche, pache, poche. Et
J'ai
après,
j'ai 1 heure.
alors
Donc,
après, en one-to-one, on rentre dans une conversation plus en profondeur selon les désirs et les besoins de chacun. C'est une
ouais.
présentation générique qui nous permet d'identifier ceux qui sont des A players et ceux qui sont des B et des C. Okay?
Amen.
All right. And then you can have a look. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's okay too. All right. So, je pense aussi, il faut que je demande à Marion, qui est un de mes coachs à Lyon, il doit avoir aussi des présentations dans la vraie vie
Nickel.
euh, à Lyon. D'autant plus, ça peut être aussi un entonnoir pour tes clients coaching. So
Ah
it
oui.
can work both ways.
Mm.
Okay. So you can recommend your supplements to your clients and you can find clients through the supplementation.
Oui,
Donc, il y a
exact.
une vraie opportunité parce que tout est aligné là. OK?
Mm.
All right?
C'est bien ça. Ouais.
Yes. And it will get you to more live events and you get to meet incredible people who have already done it and you get to mastermind with them. That is the most powerful thing. You get to work with unbelievable people that you will never meet anywhere else.
Ouais, c'est ce qu'on disait la dernière fois, trouver des gens, tu vois, c'est ce que j'ai essayé de faire avec Global Women là. J'ai eu un email ce matin, donc je vais voir pour
OK?
discuter avec Mirella.
Ah ouais. Good luck.
Elle a l'air, hein.
Wow. She's my one advice is don't make a decision on the call because she will try and sell you membership like that. Okay, she's there to sell her membership.
Elle a
That's
l'air d'être un tigre.
vraiment tigre, lion, voilà. So I want you to be prepared and intentional. And you can tell her, I am here to get information, but I am not going to make a decision on this call, Mirella. Is that still okay with you? So I want you to go in with posture and then to come away, you get the facts, you take a step back, you give it 24 hours because it's an investment and we want to make sure it's going to pay.
Oui.
OK? Tout en sachant que le networking, c'est jamais des résultats instantanés. Quand moi j'ai démarré avec un groupe en Angleterre, justement, il y avait 30 personnes dans le groupe. Et
Oui.
à l'époque, it was all in person. We met once a month. And so the second month, I went in, I was like, attends un instant ici. Chaque fois que je viens ici, ça me coûte 50 livres. 25 pour le déjeuner. Et après, il y avait le membership qui était, dans un mois par mois, ça coûtait 25 livres par mois. Donc 50.
Ouais.
Not only that, it takes at least 4 hours of my time because I had to get dressed, I have to drive, I have to go, I have to attend the event, which is 2 hours, and then I go home. I'm exhausted, right? Okay, so it was a lot of investment, time, and even at the time when I had no money, it was a lot of money for me.
Mhm.
Okay. So I made an intention that I was going to sign up every single person in that group, either as a customer or an affiliate partner. And I signed up every single person in that group in 1 year. And one of those people now is my biggest affiliate in the world.
Ah ouais.
And I was sat next to her. And I started to talk. Everybody had a 60-second pitch. We all had to stand up in the room and blah, blah, blah. Beautiful, beautiful place. And all she heard was residual income. She didn't care about the product. It was she used to say, I don't care if it's hot coals or solar paneling. All I heard was residual income because she was somebody who had been in finance and property.
Ah ouais. Donc, elle était habituée à...
Donc, les filtres de ce qu'ils entendent les gens,
Ouais.
chacun sa vérité, chacun ses filtres. D'accord? And she looked at me and she was like, tell me. Okay? Parce que derrière tout ça, elle est passée par voilà, la crise économique, etc., 2008-2009. Elle était effectivement pas en train de démarrer à zéro, mais...
Ouais.
Et je l'ai fait une démo avec le galvanique. And she just said to me, I can sell this. I was like, you can. Je me rappelle, j'ai fait une démo sur sa mère. Uh, and I still have a video today, and she's going, I can't believe it. Have you seen me? And Carol was going, this girl, Carol, she was going, I can sell this, I can sell this, I can sell this. I was like, yeah. And she built a huge international organization. Huge. Okay.
Ouais.
So,
C'est l'envie, quoi. Quand t'as l'envie.
mais elle a démarré au mois d'octobre et j'ai démarré avec ce groupe au mois de mars. So it takes time with networking. There's no instant fix.
Ouais.
Okay? Donc, quand tu rencontres Mirella aujourd'hui, parce que comme tu as bien remarqué, c'est quelqu'un qui vraiment...
Ouais.
OK? Euh, je, je préfère que tu as la posture pour dire, voilà, je suis là pour avoir des faits, les coûts, voilà, les avantages, etc. Mais je prendrai 24 heures pour prendre ma décision. OK?
Ouais.
And you'll come away from that meeting feeling.
Ouais. Tu sais, ça m'est arrivé il y a 2 mois, je crois. Je sais plus comment il s'appelait, mais un Espagnol qui a lui aussi un networking. Pareil, j'ai fait un rendez-vous avec lui. Et le gars, il était... Fallait à tout prix qu'à la fin, t'aies décidé et que... Je lui ai dit non, je vais prendre le temps, hein. Bah oui, mais ça va faire passer l'offre, etc. J'ai dit,
Oh,
OK.
I hate that.
I'm good with it, but I will take my time. Ouais, il m'a mis la
Yes.
pression, tu vois. J'ai dit non, j'ai pas décidé encore, j'ai même pas eu le temps de step back et réfléchir.
Ah oui. Non, non, mais avec elle, si tu l'annonces au début du rendez-vous, c'est mieux que tu attends à la fin. Because it puts you in a position of control.
Ouais,
I'm in control. I'm the one who decides here. Thank you for your time, Mirela. And when I'm ready, I will circle back to you. Okay? And she'll be like, wow, okay, respect. Yes. Okay, so set the intention. Right. So, your social media. We agree that in order to create a one-to-many, you need more followers. Okay? So I went through all of your posts
ouais.
and let's actually, what we're going to do is look at it together. Okay, let's do that now. So which is bigger, the Brooklyn Fit or the Wake Up Balance?
Wake Up Balance is just new, so it has only a few months.
Okay,
So Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Fit
Fit.
is best.
Okay,
So,
Brooklyn Fit. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Tu partages l'écran, super.
Yes. So you did this 17 hours ago.
Mm. Celui-là, il a mieux marché.
Okay. So obviously you can't please everyone all of the time. But all I see here is somebody who is lecturing me, like a teacher.
Ah ouais, bah voilà, c'est reparti pour un tour. C'est l'histoire de ma vie, hein.
All right. Nobody will listen to that.
Ok.
Okay. That's just like, oh my God, look at all that text. And she's here and she's giving it this and she's telling people
C'est ce que je fais le mieux.
for things to change, I have to change.
Ouais.
For things to get better, I have to get better. Okay. That's just humility. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not getting the results that you want. Do you agree?
Ah oui, c'est sûr, ouais.
Because you keep saying my audience isn't growing, I'm not with the right people, blah, 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 blah.
Oui,
Right?
parce que je te disais, c'est l'analyse, les statistiques, quoi que je fasse, et c'est tout le temps la même
So
chose.
for things to change, I have to change. I am willing, you can put your hand here, I am willing to change.
Ici, c'est la voix, c'est le chakra de la voix.
Yes, I am willing to change. I welcome change. I'm excited for change. Okay? Okay. You're just being a teacher here. All right? A nice teacher, a good teacher, but nobody wants a teacher on social media. What they want is that one's better, but you're still telling people. So, what I want you to do is show people. All right?
Ah
So,
ouais.
you're just telling, 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 telling. There's no demonstration. Fact.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux dire par des mots?
Okay, I'll show you now. Right. So now we're going to go to a guy who I absolutely love. His name is Chris Harrier.
Oui, c'est rien.
All right. 1.7 million followers. Of course, he started at zero, just like everybody. Right? Can you still see it? Yes.
Ouais.
Okay. So what does Chris do? Apart from the fact he's really hot. Okay. But
Ah
you're
ouais, c'est ça.
you're you're hot, which is why I say, for the love of Pete, take your jacket off and stop being a teacher. It's boring. And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Ouais, ouais, non, mais
Right?
j'entends.
You've got to make it more fun and more interesting. So what does he do? He makes it fun and interesting. He shows people doing what he does. He's showing. He's in action. All right? He's showing.
Au top, ce gars.
He's amazing. I do his calisthenics morning workout every day.
Ah, j'aime bien calisthenics. Je crois que c'est la meilleure pratique pour se renforcer.
I love it. I love it. Il fait une planche sur les bouts des doigts.
Ouais. facile.
Yes, we could all do that. All right. Lifestyle. He shows his lifestyle. He doesn't tell his lifestyle.
Ouais, mais Bridget, moi, mon lifestyle, il est plus boring que le sien, hein. Moi, je
Yeah,
suis
well, you've
toute.
got to find a way to make it more interesting, my sweet girl.
Parce que moi, c'est laptop, 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 reading.
That's why your audience isn't growing because you're just showing them what they already have.
Hmm. Ouais,
All right.
mince.
Now, he wasn't this good when he started, which is why 1.7 million people follow him now because he's really, really, really good. You just got to get better. So when I started TikTok, okay, I thought I was going to monetize the platform, all right? My first question wasn't how can I monetize? My question was how can I add value? How can I add value so that people, regardless of whether I monetize or not, will think, I enjoyed that video. That was useful. So I started with top tips for business owners. Little tiny videos where I would say, this is what I'm doing, and then I would talk about my struggles and how I overcame them, and what I've noticed, and I would do it in movement outside. Okay. Now, my audience grew from 2 people to 1,500 people in 100 days. And I'm not that good. I just did it because it gave me lots and lots and lots of content that I could repurpose. But as I've explained to you already, my network doesn't need to be that big because I leverage thousands of other people's networks. Right?
C'est pas le même goal.
So I don't need to be the most famous person in the world. Right? But to make this grow, you have to be a category of one and create a brand that people want to follow. And when you're being a teacher and you're telling people what to do, people are just like, no, I get that from my boss. So, for example, you can do reels where you're saying, okay, today, everybody, I'm going to show you how to do an amazing sun salutation. You can put voiceover with instruction, you add value. You give, 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 give. Today, I'm making my favorite healthy chocolate cake. And you film yourself making, and so this is what I'm using. This is the brand I'm using. This is the flour I'm using. This is the eggs I'm using, right? Why do I choose these eggs? Because, right?
Ah ouais. Hmm.
Okay. You show. You don't just post a picture of a recipe with the ingredients. Anybody can do that.
Mais ça prend du temps.
Welcome to business. It doesn't listen, it doesn't have to be you set up listen, let's go back to the sun salutation thing, right? You set up your camera, you film yourself, you put a voiceover on it. It should take you no more than 20 minutes. It will take you a lot longer in the beginning, but gradually you get the reps in, you'll get better and faster and better and faster and better and faster. Agreed?
Ouais.
And then maybe once a week you can do recipe of the week, which will maybe take you an hour. In the beginning, it might take you 3 hours, but you'll get better and better. You get the reps in faster and better, faster and better. Agreed?
Ouais.
Because for things to change, I have to change. And that way you add value. Oh, yeah, I can do. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong with my sun salutation. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong with my warrior pose. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Right? And then you can say, this is what I was doing in the beginning wrong. Not wrong, but this is what I now do better. How, 3 top tips of how to correct your warrior pose. Got it?
Ouais.
3 top tips of how, it's better to have a straight leg than a bent leg. I don't know. You're the yoga teacher, right? You
C'est
know
ça.
this shit, right?
Ouais.
Make sense?
Mhm.
So the only question you want to ask is, how can I add more value? Because here's the key. Facts tell, stories sell. So you each little reel, you're telling a story. I want to add value, not because I'm trying to sell my stuff, not because I'm trying to get people on my course. I'm here to bring my expertise, my light, my passion, and my joy to the world. And I'm going to show people how to do it, not tell them how to do it. Got it? Very different energy, right? And
Ouais.
eventually, you're going to be doing one of these every single day. And it should take you no longer than 15 or 20 minutes because you're going to plan everything you're going to do for 30 days, right? And every day, sun salutation day, warrior pose day, crow's pose day, tree day or whatever it is, right? Recipe day, right? And then the longer stuff like these, you can intersperse with things like motivational quotes, funny stories. And then you have to, like, like, for example, there's a business expo in London in March for health and well-being, right? I'm probably going to go to that expo, right? A, because I'll be able to talk to people and see if anybody wants to work with me. But B, it's amazing for content,
Ah bah oui.
right? Why do I go down on the beach every single day? Lifestyle, 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 lifestyle. Oh, it's great for my health and fitness. I feel good. I enjoy my walk, but it's great for content. So you have to plan, how can I make better content that's going to make people happy? And if that means going into Lyon or going into Lyon and going into an amazing store that sells beautiful flowers or books or food or whatever, you get up and you go there at least once or twice a week. You've got to get out, girl, and create content that brings joy and fun and value. Okay?
Ouais.
So this week, I want you to plan 30 topics that you can do short instructional reels on. Okay? And again, don't go into teacher mode. Just have fun, enjoy doing it. Imagine you're in a class. You do what is the most write a list of the 10 most challenging things that your students want to overcome in your yoga class, right? And you could do a series. I'm going to do a 10-day series on this is where they struggle with sun salutation, this is where they struggle with warrior pose, this is where they struggle with crow's pose, this is right, okay?
Ouais, mais tu sais, ceux qui sont sur ma page de Brooklyn Fit, sont pas intéressés par le yoga.
It doesn't matter whatever they're. I'm just using this as an example. What
C'est
are they? What are they interested in?
perdre du poids, retrouver leur équilibre, être bien dans leur peau.
I think you need to include yoga in it because it's one of your skills and you need to demonstrate it. And don't assume that that's what your audience wants because that's what you're showing right now. Because at the moment your audience isn't growing, so maybe they want something different. Right.
Ouais.
And yoga I'm not saying it has to be just yoga, but it can be, yeah. And then you can think of topics that you can show somebody, how to, or this is my morning routine and this is the book I'm studying at the moment and blah, 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 right? So you need to be showing people what you're doing and how you're overcoming your own limitations as well and how you help other people overcome your limitations. This is the creativity side of things. It will come, right? At the moment, you're learning,
Ouais.
right? You can't be good in 24 hours. How long did it take you to be this good at yoga?
Years.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay. I'm so grateful for this next level of expansion. This is wonderful. I'm getting better every day, and I'm in soon. I'm going to be an absolute pro. I'm filled with creativity. I'm filled with new ideas. I'm excited about this new level of being able to share and add value to the wonderful people who have taken the time to follow me. And I'm grateful for my audience, and I'm excited to see it grow because your big problem, and you can not agree with me, but I'm telling you, you are focusing on the lack all the time. My audience isn't growing. People aren't interested in what I do. So yes, you have the desires, but your focus on the lack is so strong. Guess what? The universe is like, more lack, no growth. because everything you are living is a result of what you are thinking. There is no exception to that. And I wish I could tell you differently. It's not because you have to work, it's not because you and even in terms of your content, when you start focusing on your vision and not what is in front of you, the value of your content will change automatically because you will be inspired, right? Automatically, the energy of your content will be different because you're still focusing. I can feel it in the energy of your posts. I'm focusing on the lack, the lack, the lack, the lack, right? So you have to live in your mind, in your vision, as if it's already done. You know that.
Oui.
The joy, the freedom, the energy, the gratitude, the appreciation, the relief, the happiness, right? You have to live in that vibration. It is done. Because you can't be negative and create a positive outcome because everything you think creates your reality.
Oui, mais pour ma justification, c'est que si j'analyse pas les pain points qui sont là pour moi, comment je peux les corriger?
But that's what we're doing now. So that one of the pain points is your audience isn't growing. So we're going to you need to change things up and provide more value.
Oui. Mhm.
That's it. And if you're stuck, ChatGPT is your best friend, right? Because honestly, I've done so much training on this. If people aren't adding you, it's because they don't resonate with your content.
Ah, c'est sûr, ouais. C'est sûr.
Right? So you can't keep posting the same thing and expect a different result. That's the definition of an insanity, right? So we have
Ouais.
to change things up. And I'm not saying that this is the holy grail, but as you get into an expanded level of creativity, more ideas will come to you. That's called the law of attraction 1.0. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, you will get the same result. And we'll be having this conversation in 10 years' time, and you'll still be going, it's not working.
C'est pour ça que j'ai décidé de changer. Parce que c'est ce que j'avais constaté par moi-même, que faire les mêmes choses et avoir aucun résultat, c'est usant.
Yeah. And I tell you another video. So I'm getting ideas for you now. Do a get ready with me video, right? Putting your makeup on, tying your hair up. Do a get ready with, I mean, there's a billion different things you can do to make it different. Okay? What you do is very high quality. It just needs to be different with the same quality. Storytelling. I'm a really good storyteller. I'm full of amazing creative ideas. People are gonna love my content, right? You have to be intentional with your thoughts and your feelings before you start creating. Because if you're at the moment you're creating from lack, people don't follow me, my audience never grows, all I can see is it's stagnant, blah blah blah. I'm stuck, right? Well, of course, the universe is like more stuck, more stuck. Okay? So that's one pain point that you can address, and you do it with so much more joy, right? Because we're going to build out that funnel. Pain point, be more creative, be more intentional, look for the joy in the process. Not, oh, this is going to take so much time. Okay, right. I mean, just yesterday, I did a promo video for the Prism event tomorrow, and I'm there an hour in trying to work with Canva and pictures of Polly and Kathy and me, and I was just like taking too long. This is taking too long, and I know it's actually not even really going to yield results. And I was just like, stop, come back to present moment. Let's do this you're not doing it because you want a result. You're doing it because you want to do a good job making this post, and it will fall on the right eyes and ears. I trust. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. And within 3 minutes, oh, it's done. because I realign my energy of this is taking too long, this is frustrating, God, how difficult can this be just doing one thing? Because I love doing backgrounds with videos and then superimposing. And then I saved it once and I was like, oh, it's just not right. So I had to do it again, and I was just like, "Nyeh," right? I was
Ouais.
like, so I had to stop, have a word with myself, get back into alignment, get clear on what I wanted to create. And then everything was just like, oh yeah, of course I can use that app to create that. That's exactly okay, okay, of course I can, of course I can. And I was like, you know this already, Bridget. Why aren't you doing it? Right? Okay. Second thing, your outreach in DMs, right? I don't know what you say because you send voice notes.
Ah.
I need to know what you are saying because there's something that needs improving in your messaging. And I think the problem is that you're just trying to sell as soon as you enter into conversation with someone. I could be wrong because I don't hear your notes, right? That is icky, right? No one wants to be sold to. Do you agree?
Oui, oui. Mais j'essaye de pas vendre, de dire le message c'est coucou. Alors quand c'est une nouvelle personne, bienvenue sur ma page. J'espère que la fête de fin d'année se sont bien passées. Je reste à
Oui.
ta disposition si tu as besoin de quoi que ce soit.
No, 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 no. That's selling. That's selling.
Ah, ok.
Okay. So let's have a look at your. Oh, hang on. That's selling. All right. So let's go to your screenshots that you've.
Je pensais que ça montrait que j'étais là, que voilà, j'étais à la dispo si jamais il y avait besoin de quoi
No,
que ce
no,
soit.
no, 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 no. They
Ok.
want you to be, first of all, their friend. They do not care about what you do unless you show that you care about them, right?
Ouais. Mm.
They don't care. They don't they followed you just for they really don't care about you. They don't know you much.
Mm.
They don't really even like you much. So you're here to build trust. Okay. I don't know what this is.
C'était le lien pour le webinaire. Enfin, pour le live du coup. Ah oui, tu m'as pas dit la différence. Alors, c'est quoi entre
Oh,
live et
get to
webinaire?
that in a minute.
Parce que moi, j'ai utilisé les deux mots.
No, just basically, a webinar is on Zoom and a live is on social media.
Ah, ok. Alors, ouais, donc je faisais webinar et je disais aux gens live.
Very different.
Live, c'est social media.
Yeah.
Ok. Hop.
Okay. So every single, this is all about me. Tu reçois mes newsletters? It's all about me. Did you ask her once? Right? Even she asked you. J'espère que tu vas bien. You receive my newsletters. Okay? There we are. Une résolution. That is pitching. That's a pitch.
Ok.
People aren't stupid.
Comment je peux m'intéresser à quelqu'un que je connais pas si je
Okay, so
propose pas un
so
truc un peu
that's a
global comme ça?
good question. So, if you met somebody that you don't know in real life, what was the first thing you would say to them?
Où est-ce que tu habites? Qu'est-ce que tu fais dans la vie?
Well, the first thing you say is, "Hi, how are you? Lovely to meet you." Agreed?
Ouais, ouais.
Oui, je suis ravie de te rencontrer. Okay, and then it would be something like, um, have you been doing anything nice today? Or if you've met them in a in a store, or, a friend of yours is introduced, right? You just talk to people like they're human, you know? What have you been up to? Have you had a good start to the week? What brings you to New York?
Mm.
You know, like a normal conversation you'd have with somebody in real. And if you are messaging somebody, if you met somebody for the first time and you said, "Tu as des résolutions?" It would just like, who is this weird woman? She's asking me about my life and she has just literally met me. Okay. So your messaging is everything. And this is where the sticking point is. Okay. I go very, very, very slow with new people. The sales cycle from a new person to a coaching onboarding is going to be 6 to 8 weeks minimum, right? This is for your 5,500 course, right?
Ouais.
You you have to speak, and you say, and you basically you do that and say, if I met this person in real life, would I be sending this message? You could quite easily say, "Hi, thanks for the follow. How was your Christmas and New Year?" That's the first thing you'd say if you met somebody in real life. Do you agree?
Ouais.
How's your Christmas and New Year? And then you can always add, it was a quiet one for me, and I'm super happy to be, in a new year, in a new year, right? A normal conversation. People think when they're messaging, they've got to talk differently, but it's the same. Okay. We all do it, Anissa. We all do it. And I have to stop myself all the time. Okay. It's just and when you meet somebody, you ask them a question. They respond, they ask you a question back. You respond, you ask a question, right? You have to love on people first. You have to really love on them. And I know that's hard for French people, but you have to love on people. You have to really care deeply about them before you even begin to talk about what you sell. Okay? And that is a skill if it's not inherent in your nature, right? Now my mother was somebody who just had a really deep, sincere, and genuine interest in other people. When she died in her little village, there were so many people. There were people outside of the church, and the whole street was blocked up with cars. Right? She didn't have a business. She did a lot of work for charity, but the one power that she had was that everybody she met, she would, how are you? She would ask them questions about them. She would never want to talk about herself. She would ask them a billion questions about them. And then she would remember people. Every
Oh.
single birthday, she would receive between 50 and 100 birthday cards. Why? Because she had a book, and every day it was the name of a birthday of somebody, or their daughter, or their niece, or their nephew. And she would send cards every day, 5 or 6.
Ah ouais.
Yeah. So on her birthday, it would be just like a sea of birthday cards because she gave without trying to get. I mean, for us, as children, it was annoying because we would walk along the little street in the village, and every 2 minutes, oh, Angela, Angela, and she was like, "Oh, how are you? Tell me, how's little Johnny and Eddie?" And we were just like,
Ah, attendre. Ah ouais, ma mère, elle faisait pareil. Tu
"I
vois.
genuinely somebody who cared." And she used to say, "We are so lucky we have to give back because my father was successful and she didn't have to work, and she went to yoga 4 times a week, and she had this wonderful life, and she did huge events at the house because we had this great big house and all the rest of it. Strawberry teas for cancer research, big breakfast for cancer. She raised hundreds of thousands of pounds for cancer research. That was her thing, right?" And she was very humble. She says, "Oh no, I'm not a chief. I'm just an Indian. I just want to do the work, and somebody else can be a leader." She was a huge leader, right? But she didn't see herself as a leader. She was just there to serve. And when you're there just to serve, You don't even have to think about the money, it will just come back. And you serve how these days? With creating content where you show and you add value. Doing the demo. You do the demo. Demo yoga, demo cooking, whatever you got, you can demo, you demo it. Demo, demo, demo. Okay?
Oui.
And you add value and you add joy and you add color and you add experience and you add, what we're looking at is for sentient content. So when I go down on the beach and I'm doing my, thing with the, they feel, and everybody else is freezing and all the rest of it. And I'm there and it's bright sunshine down on the beach. I'm like, yay. And they transport themselves to that feeling of well-being that I'm giving through my post. That is what stops the scroll. Okay? So building your audience and getting your outreach right. Okay? From now on, this week, every outreach you do, I want a screenshot and no more voice notes.
Oui.
All right? I hate voice notes. As personally, if somebody sends me a voice note, unless really I know them well, I won't listen to it. Because I have to sit and listen. It has to be quiet and I have to be available and I have to pay attention. And then I can't remember what they said because they've gone on for a minute.
Ouais.
Right. Okay. And you will get good at this. You have to put the reps in.
Mm.
Right. Just
Oui.
as my one of our girls in America, what's her name? Oh God. Will come to me in a minute. Her brand is called Don't Be a Dick. Yeah. Yeah.
Pas mal ça.
Let me show you her page. She's amazing. She's incredibly successful. Okay, if I put Carly here. Carly danced. God, I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember her name. Oh my God. Begins with G and I can't remember. G. Here she is. Okay, Gudrun Clark. Thank you. Gretchen Clark, sorry. Gretchen Clark. Right. Let me show you Gretchen. Okay, so this is Gretchen, 160,000 followers. Okay. And we are Don't Be a Dick podcast. Don't Be a Dick podcast. All right. She has an LTK. That's her brand. Don't be a dick. And this is exactly what I'm saying. You have to be natural and normal with people.
Ouais.
Stop trying to sell. If you stop trying to sell, you'll sell more. Right? If Mirela speaks to you today and she doesn't try to sell you at all, you're much more likely to buy. You agreed?
Ouais. Ah oui, c'est
I
sûr.
loved her energy. I love that she's going to ask you a ton of questions about yourself, right? Because she's a professional. All right. Tell me about your business. Tell me, that is my guess. And if she doesn't, then but my guess is that she's going to be pretty professional about this. And she's going to be, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. It really is. You asking those quality questions is everything. And it's not about finding their point of pain in 5 minutes. You have to warm them up to it, right? Hi, nice to meet you. What are your fitness goals? I was just like, fucking hell. Why are you asking me that question? You never assume because people follow you that they follow you because they want your fitness goals. No. Actually, what people want is affection, acknowledgement, and approval. So you have to acknowledge, compliment, and then ask a question. Totally non-related to your business. ACA. Okay? Acknowledge, compliment, i.e., appreciation, and then ask. They want approval. They want to see you're interested. Okay? If you always remember those, people want to be acknowledged, approved, and appreciated. Okay? So you can say things like, oh my God, thank you so much for the follow. I just thought this is what I do all the time. I've taught you this before, so I'll go in and I will look at their profile, right? So I'll give you an example, then we'll go on to the next thing. Okay. So if I go onto my profile, so I picked up a couple of new followers yesterday. I'm just like, wow, people are actually still following me. I can't believe it. All right. So this lady here, Imi Visa France, right? I thought it was actually like a bit of a spam thing in the beginning.
Ouais, on dirait, ouais.
But she's I think she's like a new she's just new. She hasn't got much thing, right? Expert guidance on French visas, residence per P member, blah, 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 all right?
Mhm.
And she's posting in her stories. Okay. This is pas du tout. Okay, so she's trying to get me to engage. No, not into that. Right? So, can you see what I did there? She's trying to bait me.
Ouais.
I don't even know her. No thanks. You're all right. All right. So let's go back to this lady here, Bavna. Right. So I went onto the FSB website to have a look at the networking events that are on FSB, and I saw that this lady here is the keynote speaker for my area in the South Coast.
Ah ouais, d'accord.
Right? Because I read what was on the networking event and the details of the event, right? And her name came up, and I was like, I think I'm connected with her on LinkedIn. So I realized I connected with her on LinkedIn, and I did message her, but she didn't respond. Right? So then I saw if she was on Facebook. No, but I found her here. So I followed her. And then on this, I did a comment. Was it this one? Or maybe it was this one. Doesn't matter. There we are. I made a comment on her post. I acknowledged, appreciated, and what was the other thing? Approved of her, right? Whatever.
Ouais.
Hey, looking forward to your talk on the 23rd with the FSB. So I showed her that I am interested. Oh, and immediately, of course, she replied, oh, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I acknowledged, appreciated, and approved her. Boom, came straight back to me. Right? And I'm like, likewise. So I didn't even leave it there. I went in with another layer. Right? The next thing, she's followed me. Okay? Because this has got terrible engagement because it's a crap post. Right? You agree? It tells you nothing. Just be yourself.co.uk. But I don't care because this lady is Indian and she has a big network and I want to get her to know me. And the best way I can do that is do a really complimentary comment on her post, especially on one that's got 3 likes and she's desperate for approval. Got it? So she will remember a long time about that nice comment that I made, and she will be looking out for me on the 23rd, and in which case we'll have a one-to-one and she'll start giving me referrals.
Mhm.
It all starts with acknowledge, appreciate, and approve. Okay?
Ouais.
That's how you build a network. It's certainly not by selling more of your stuff. Nobody cares. The only thing that people care about is them, right? That doesn't work every time. But who else? I got somebody else following me. This lady here, but she's a new skin lady already, I think.
Et
Okay,
ouais, pareil dans la première Reels, non? C'est pas ça?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So she's that's nice. Good for her. Right. So people follow me from New Skin because I've been around a long time and I've got a big organization. Right. So she's looking to see what I post to see what she can copy. Bless her. But she has what I don't, which is youth. All right. But if she's serious about her business, then she's going to want to learn from people who have a lot of experience. Right. She's doing really good. Still a bit boring, but she's learning. Right. Right. These kind of posts don't really stop the scroll. You know, I'm just looking at her engagement here. Oh yeah, that stopped the scroll. Why? Because it's emotion, it's fun, it's joy, right? There's emotion in this. Happiness, motherhood. So on that one, she got 44 likes. So 4 times as many engagements than any other post because it brings an emotion that people want to feel. Joy, love, and appreciation. Okay?
Ouais.
Yeah. As these ones are she's just posing. Nobody gives a shit. Right. So this one did a bit better. Oh, and why? Because she's dancing, joy, love, appreciation, fun, and energy. Okay?
Ouais.
I know the posts I get most engagements are pictures either with my kids or with my dad. Especially the one when my dad is like, oh, another birthday. Oh, look, he's 96 this year. And everyone's just like, what? And I'm like, yep, he's still here. And he told me the other day he's determined to make 100. I was like, you go for it, Pa. Okay.
Cool.
So, and then you can look at, sorry, I follow all these American politics. So interesting. Now, this girl here, she's struggling, man. Her energy is, again, she's doing like, I just teach, I just teach, I just teach. She's been at this a long time. I've had a one-to-one with her. I mean, honestly, she has done so many posts.
C'est teacher, elle aussi?
Something like that. I can't remember. I mean, look how much content she makes, and she's got 200 followers. Communications and confidence coach.
C'est dur, je trouve, de... Enfin, c'est dur, je devrais pas dire ce mot. Oups. Let me think.
Go on.
C'est... Je sais pas quel mot utiliser, du coup, c'est un mot que j'utilise très souvent, malheureusement.
Yeah, well, that's why you keep getting more hard.
Ouais, c'est ça. Je sais même pas du coup quoi dire.
Right. Vas-y, dis-le comme tu le devrais naturellement et je vais le recadrer.
Ouais, j'allais dire, c'est difficile de coacher des gens sur les réseaux sociaux sans faire ces petits réels où tu es là en train de leur donner, entre guillemets, des pistes de travail ou, tu vois, leur dire, voilà, vous faites pas ça très bien pour l'instant parce que
Yeah,
vous
but
n'avez
people
pas
don't want to
conscience.
be educated on social media. They want to be entertained,
Ouais, mais c'est ça le problème que j'avais. C'est pour
right?
ça
So
que
you have to find a way to entertain them. That's why I'm saying do videos where you're actually doing the stuff because that will entertain them. Do videos where you're making stuff that will entertain them. I mean, you could do something really simple, right? Okay, right? You're in the supermarket, brown eggs or white eggs, right? Okay. I'm looking at this, I'm just looking at this apple here, and I'm just wondering whether I get, so you can do like little reels like that where you're filming yourself. Like, to, okay, so here we are in front of all the apples. Once again, I have no idea what to choose, but I am definitely going to make an amazing apple pie later. Okay, right? There's loads of things you can do once you start unlocking that creative flow. Okay, it doesn't
Ouais,
have to be complicated or difficult or perfect. Okay. You're going to suck before you get good. You can do a video. Okay, I'm going to suck before I get good, right? I want to add more value, so I'm going to document my life better. My life. So you have to go out and get yourself a life. Tu achètes des courses, non?
ouais.
Bah alors, fais une vidéo de toi en train de faire des courses. That's what people want to see. I know it's rubbish, but it's true.
Ouais, mais c'est ce que je te disais, ma vie, elle est pas amazing, ma vie, hein.
Yeah, but pour l'instant.
Je suis beaucoup sur le poste de travail, donc c'est difficile quand je sors. C'est
Okay,
juste- le
listen.
peu de temps que je prends, c'est pour faire un peu de sport, tu vois. Sinon,
Right, it
j'ai
doesn't matter where you start there. You start there, and then you plan once a week that you're going to go out somewhere and make some content that is actually interesting to people because you have to serve your audience. That's your job,
Ouais,
right? For things to change, I have to change. The other thing I would love you to have a look at, let's go back again to your profile, is you're following a lot of people.
ah,
I would I would actually go through all that there
ouais,
and remove everybody who you know will never be a client. Right? Don't try and do it all in one go. You'll waste time. You do 10 minutes, 15 minutes per day until you get this clean. So you're going to really hone down on your audience. Apart from, a few influencers that you want to follow, right? Five to 10. But everyone else, you're going to clean this out here. This is not clean. Okay? It's just a little hack, but it will do you the world of good.
ouais.
All right? You could even, oh, should we do that? Okay. Look what we're going to do here. This is going to be interesting. Okay. I want to 10x my Instagram. Can you give me a non-biased view of my content and what I can do to improve? My audience hasn't grown for years,
Ouais.
and I want to add more value to the right people. Okay, people. My ideal audience is, what's your ideal audience?
Active women
Active women
who want to lose weight and feel
who
good in their own skin.
lose weight, feel good in their own skin,
Yeah,
and
ready to invest in themselves.
they are ready to invest in themselves. And my €5,500 coaching program. It's going to be interesting. Oh, oh, there's access limits.
Ah, ça, c'est ChatGPT tout le temps.
And okay, so that's no good, right? Because they can't access exactly what you're doing. All right, that's annoying. I thought they could. Oh well. Anyway, what I've done for you there, I promise you, it will work. All right. Um, if in doubt, you can look at Gretchen. Okay, she started with zero, right? My life motto, don't be a dick. Right? So, why is she getting 57,000 views on this rather than hosting tips? Okay? Because emotion, energy, joy, etc. Okay?
Ouais.
Giving birth, I mean, dang, right? Okay, this is interesting. So
I'm
this
not
is
saying this for sympathy, but I feel deep down in my bones that there is someone who needs to hear this, and I hope that it's not you. But this is for any daughter who feels unloved by your mother. I am in your shoes. I'm right there with you. But I came on here to tell you with proof that it is not your fault. Here's why. I am now a
Okay, so this is an interesting post because she is touching on a very sensitive nerve of women's relationship with their mothers. So that is resonating with 98% of the population. Do you agree?
Ouais.
Well, of course it is, because she's got 73,000 likes on it. This is what people care about. Negative and positive emotions. That's all it boils down to because we are sentient, emotional beings. Okay?
Ouais.
Really is that simple. Yeah. When I put that post up about my backstory on TikTok and it got 150,000 views, I literally, I was just like, I'm out of TikTok. I can't stand this. It's too much publicity for me. I don't want to. I was being an Indian, not a chief. I was just like, oh, I don't want this much exposure. Nah, nah. Whoa, see ya. I've proved a point. I've
Ouais.
proved a point because people resonated with the story because of the emotion behind it. Why do so many people spend so much money on horror movies, right? Romantic comedies, right? Drama, thrillers, because they want the emotion.
Ouais.
That's it. And fear is very addictive, which is why horror movies do so well because people get an adrenaline pump from the fear they feel. Do you agree?
Ouais.
So all the emotions at the back of it, what do we have in our hormones, right? Oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, cortisol, and adrenaline. They're the big five, right?
Ouais.
So when you feel good, you have dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. When you feel bad, you have adrenaline, which then will spike when it becomes too much stress into cortisol. Right? But people don't really want the cortisol, but they love that adrenaline rush. Is he going to kill her? Is he not going to kill her? Is he going to kill? I mean, when you think about it, how crazy is that shit that people pay money to see people killing other people?
Ouais, ouais.
That's wrong. Right? And then you get the real extreme of, it can go anywhere, right? So because people are addicted to the way the hormone feels in the body. That's all this is here. Right? So what hormone do you want to release when you're putting a piece of content out? Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. All right, I spent a whole 2 days studying on all that shit over the Christmas holidays, learning about hormones and how they affect our behavior. Okay.
Ouais.
And then what happens is, this is an interesting science plus behavior plus outcome thing, right? Just getting into it a little bit more deeply now because I'm really interested in all this stuff. So they'll see constantly posts that release oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine, right? And then they become addicted to that because of the hormone release they are guaranteed to have when they watch that content.
Mm.
And what will happen is that they will follow, and then the more they follow and the more they comment, the more you will be rewarded by Instagram because they will show your feed to more people because people are liking and commenting because you're releasing more oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin.
Eh ouais, c'est de la biochimie.
And as a result, you'll have more people that you can pitch to, which means more clients. That's how it all works. You have the formula. Make sense?
Des émotions, ouais.
Right, just quickly, I have asked my friend Sabine about school, and she is going to send me the recording of a masterclass free of charge that I can share with you,
Ok.
which will give you the basics of enabling you to make an informed decision of whether it's something you want to pursue or not. Okay?
Ouais.
Right. So she is traveling at the moment. She sometimes takes a couple of days to get back to me, but I will get that for you.
Et elle est sur School depuis combien de temps?
I don't know any of that. I'm just waiting to find out. I honestly don't know. Okay? So I'm working for you.
Ok.
With regards to your reach outs now, again, I want your reach outs to be much more personalized, no more copy and pasting. Okay? Even if you and to keep up that momentum, the same webinar every single week at the same time. Okay? Don't vary it. Because it will give you the system and structure that you need to be able to do the rest of the things that you need to do during the week to build your business. All right, hon?
Oui.
I want you to think of it that this system, for example, if you look at a tree underneath the roots, it's all built on a system. If you look at the way the world turns with the sun and the moon and the stars, it's a system, right? The way our body works is a system. Do you agree? So when the system is out of whack, we get sick. Okay? And this is exactly the same. We want to build a system in place that it's hardwired that every Thursday at 8 p.m. or 4 p.m., whatever it is, this is I do my webinar. And you can go from event to event with a goal eventually to do really, really good idea. And please, I am begging you, no more than 45 minutes. Otherwise, people are going to be dying on the bones of their arse. That is boring, and that is being at school, and that is being teacherish. All right. You're here to make it fun, dynamic, interactive, etc. You can even, this is what you can do next time. You find somebody you've worked with to come in and give a testimonial. All right. That guy that you work with who gave you referrals, ask him to come in and give a testimonial because it will open up his network as well. And he will ask him to invite his network on the call because he's going to want his network to come and listen to your thing. Right? That's how you leverage other people's networks as well in real time.
Et comment est-ce que tu penses que ça vaut enfin, est-ce que tu penses que c'est une bonne idée de rajouter cet appel à l'action pour le webinaire quand j'écris encore en DM? Ou est-ce que ça fait trop vente, ça aussi?
It's too much sales. You've got to get people into conversations, right? Particularly when you start building a new followers. My recommendation is you start by creating more interactive content, right? Don't worry too much about the outreach for the moment. You're going to suck. Get the reps in until you get good. Okay? We call it being bad enough. Are you willing to be bad enough for long enough to get good?
Ouais. Bah oui, j'ai pas le choix. C'est mon choix.
Exactly. If you want this growth. Now, I really want to tell you this one thing. Did you know that in the UK, and I'm sure it's the same in France, fewer than 1% of women business owners make more than 100,000 a year in net profit?
C'est pas, C'est pas étonnant quand tu vois comment les gens mettent leur service en avant et autres et sont timides, je trouve, dans la vente ou dans la mise en
That
avant.
doesn't, I'm not telling you that to try and look at other people. What I'm saying is, I want you to understand that you are doing really well. You're already well up in the top 10%. Okay? You are doing really well. Right? So please, you've got to be your own chief encouragement officer, the CEO, chief encouragement officer, right? I want you to look in the mirror every day and say, Anissa, I love you. You're amazing. You're incredible. I believe in you. This is possible. And you get into that feeling of being in possession of the money you want to have with amazing business that you have. Right? And you do that constantly in alignment with how am I going to feel? Tell me, how will you feel? Tell me the emotions behind your achieved goal. Tell me.
Ah bah ça, je le fais tous les jours, ça.
I would
Ça
just no, don't say we may, right? Le we may is there is resistance, all right? I think that's going to be our sign from now on. Okay, tell me how you're going to feel.
amazing, blissful, grateful, happy, serene, peaceful, relaxed,
Yes,
in my power,
yes,
the best person I can be.
yes. Proud of yourself, happy, grateful, energized, blessed, right? Confident, skillful, etc. Right? I'm the best of the best. A category of one. Okay? You have to do that all day. Because if you're doing that in the morning and then the rest of the day, it's not working, there's not enough people, nobody likes my post, ding, 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 right? That will completely negate everything you've done that morning. That is like drinking a glass of lemon water in the morning and then eating McDonald's for the rest of the day.
Ouais, ouais, bien dit.
Okay? Ça ne sert à rien.
Ouais.
Okay? This has to be all the time, every single day, moment by moment. You set intentional. You can do it hourly. You can do it segment by segment. You has to be, am I in alignment with that feeling that I am already, I have already achieved what I set out to achieve? Am I in alignment here? But you have to check in with yourself hourly, right? Until it becomes a habit. And so that state becomes stable. Because your state at the moment is whoop, 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 whoop,
C'est vrai.
right? Since when has anything stable been built on that kind of roller coaster of emotions? Big highs and big lows are really bad for business. No emotion. Presence. Presence, gratitude in presence. I'm grateful for this amazing piece of content. People are going to absolutely love it. I'm adding value to my audience. This is my only desire to create something that's going to really bring people a good feeling. Okay. I love what I do. I'm so grateful to be able to show up every single day. You don't even, because the more you focus on that energy, money is just the natural byproduct of it. Okay. You get into alignment and then you take action. You get into alignment and then you take action. Right? Okay. Right. That's enough for today. You've got plenty to be going on with. Right. So going to completely rehaul your brand, get your outreach bang on the nail, stay in alignment, be very, very disciplined with your emotions. And no more negative feedback. And I want you to send me 3 things every day that you're profoundly grateful for in your accountability. Okay.
Oui.
and we're going to really get that audience up. All right, hon?
Oui. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, I'll catch you
À
later.
demain, alors, du coup.
À demain. Ah oui, oui, je vais t'envoyer le truc. Ok, ma belle. Allez, bonne journée. Je t'embrasse. Bye.
Moi aussi, bisous, merci.